Growing up, my family and I attended church every Sunday, but I never really felt connected with it. And so I kind of started getting disillusioned with the church. I always thought the message of Jesus and the church was to be friendly, a good person, be kind and generous, and then God will accept you based on that. And this didn't really last long for me throughout my adolescence, especially in the later years of high school. When I tried being the kind and nice person, it seemed like everyone just pushed me aside and took advantage of me. And so I started trying to do things my own way, the way of the world, the way everyone else did, which was just to kind of follow your own path and do things the way you want to do. And so that resulted in me going from relationship to relationship, kind of neglecting my family and pushing them aside, and really just trying to live life the way I wanted to live. But it totally left God completely out of the picture. And I started noticing myself being very isolated from others and from God himself. After I graduated, I noticed I really was in this turning point in my life where I had to make some sort of decisions about what I wanted to pursue and what really mattered to me. Everything that I was looking for was really not working out, and my way of doing things was no better than how I was raised. So over the summer after my senior year of graduating high school, I decided to try to go back to some of my roots and started attending church again and really started getting into the Bible. And that's where I started seeing sort of Jesus' standard and how me trying to live the good life was not going to work. And so I started having to wrestle with these thoughts and this understanding that I'm currently not going to be in heaven and I can't do it on my own. I can't be good enough. And so that's when the grace of Jesus entered my life, and I understood through the gospel that even though I had broken God's moral law and his commandments, Jesus came to pay the fine, to pay the debt for my wages of sin. For when I tried to keep the law, it condemned me. When I saw the law of Christ, it condemned me. I realized I'm condemned. I currently stand guilty before God and his holiness. So I died to the law. I stopped trying to meet all its requirements. I can't meet the requirements, so I'm going to just surrender. Later in verse 21, it says, "For if keeping the law could make us right with God, then there was no need for Christ to die." We have to understand that we can't live that good life. It's not possible, and so that's why it was necessary for Christ to die. Understanding that message is kind of where I'm at now, and I still wrestle with trying to live that perfect life, still trying to be a good person. And this is a big verse for me now. It says, "Did you receive the Holy Spirit by obeying the law? Of course not. You received the Spirit because you believed the message you heard about Christ. How foolish can you be? After starting your Christian lives in the Spirit, why are you now trying to become perfect by your own human effort?" And so I still have this wrestling within myself of trying to live life on my own terms and trying to live that perfect life apart from Christ. But as the word says here, that's foolish. We should depend on God. We should depend on his Spirit to work through us to live that life that God has called us to instead of trying to do it on our own. So that's where I'm at now, and I hope this message is a huge encouragement. Thank you.